Hey, everybody, and welcome to Tea Talk Thursday. Of course, I'm sitting here looking at my phone and realize that I did not silence it. It seems that people always want to call when I'm on here chatting with you guys. So let me do that first. Boom. Do not disturb because I don't want to be disturbed while I'm chatting with my peeps. Anywho, while we're waiting for some people to come in, I'll let folks on Facebook know that we are now live and they need to get on in here and chat with us. Like, what is the holdup? Hope things are going well for you in your neck of the wood. I hope you are safe and well. We already see that this new variant is out. It is showing up in lots of unexpected areas at this point. And they are predicting that they don't really know what's going to happen over the next few months, weeks, and all of that. We already know that January has been the deadliest month so far as we're dealing with COVID. And like I said, I just want to encourage you to think about it. Keep your mask on, do all those things that you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I come on here every week and I bring this up. I talk to you guys about it. I tell you the importance of it, and I turn on the news and the numbers are rising. So I don't know, maybe you're just not listening to me, or maybe you are listening and you aren't the problem. We need to reach the other masses. I am in the works of getting a medical professional to come live with me so that you guys can ask questions. Maybe part of the reasoning behind this vaccination, where I'm seeing every other day or week that people are like, I'm not getting it, and accrediting it to something that I don't want to say doesn't make sense, because if it's what you believe, it kind of makes sense, I guess, in your way. But I want somebody to be able to help you break down what your concerns are. And what I realize in talking with people is that what's happening is a lot of you are saying, no, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I haven't even talked to your medical provider yet to even make sense. Okay. So I want to make sure that we get that done because it's important to me. I want it to be important to you guys. If you saw my Facebook post this week, I took my mom to get hers done. Yay, mom. She is contributing to slowing down the spread. Love it. It was great to see so many people in there, but also sad to hear that oftentimes some of the vials have to be discarded because people don't show up. Did you hear that? Yeah, people actually don't show up to their appointment. And I see that in some states, people are waiting hours or whatever the case is. If you're not going to go, at least reach out to them. Maybe they can get somebody else. And I don't know, there has to be a better plan. And we're already seeing that we're on a shortage. So yeah, there's that. Okay, off my soapbox. Not even going to talk to you guys about it. I'm lying. I am going to mention it at the end. But anywho, thanks for joining. Come on in, sit a while, and hopefully you've gotten your tea. Today I am drinking chai tea, which is one of my absolute favorite teas. I've been drinking it for years. Tea bag. Oftentimes I just do the mix with milk and the liquid. However you get it. Whatever's your favorite is your favorite. Tea is just a great drink. Definitely try it out. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Tamika. I'm the mouth here at IG at Tamika Talks, and I'm the thought leader at Life and Pumps. So I created this tea talk literally to just be an organic conversation. We talk about whatever current events are happening, whatever happened previously. Sometimes there's an update. And oftentimes I do bring you guests where we can have varied opinions. And I offer you the opportunity to join me live and offer your opinion, or to just, of course, in the comments, as always, share your opinion. So today I posted some questions to you guys. Who is Jason Collier? Is that his name at this point? I'm so like, I don't even know the man's name. Yes, that is his name. I am correct. Well, wait a minute. Look at that. So we have a comment. Brother Davis is saying he's at work and shouldn't even be on here. Don't get fired because I cannot pay your bills. But I appreciate you. And I'm happy to see that you got your vaccine on Monday. Yay, you. I'm sure your wife has probably already gotten hers. Thank you for doing your job in slowing the spread. I appreciate you much as always. But first question, as I posted, is who is Jason Collier? Have you guys heard about him? His name is like everywhere at this point. So someone had asked me yesterday, about it. And let me just tell you guys how I literally found out about what was happening. And I'll give you the background on who he is and all that in a second. So I had to go to my daughter's school to drop off her lunch because we had forgotten it, in our haste to, rushing out the door. So she told me that she needed it. And I was like, okay, I'll bring it. I'll go home and get it, blah, blah, blah. So as I'm there, of course, she can't just jump out of class. She has to go at, an appropriate break. So as I'm waiting for her to come out, as I always do in my car, I'm playing around on Facebook. So this name just keeps popping up. And I'm like, well, who is this person? I don't know him. I don't even know why he keeps showing up in my comment thread. Well, I fell down a deep rabbit hole, guys, researching him. And I mean deep, 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 deep. Like some of the things that I saw and read, I was absolutely flabbergasted. So let me give you just the background on who he is. So he is a 21-year law enforcement officer, and he's currently the chief of police in Stinnett Police Department. Now, what's so crazy is Stinnett Police Department, their little county and city and all of that, has also issued a statement on Jason Collier, okay? So here's where it gets interesting. He's a cop that's been married twice. He has 4 kids. Apparently 2 with his ex-wife and 2 with his current wife. Now, part of the reason I give you guys those air quotes is there's a lot of speculation because nobody really knows if he's married, if he's not married. He's produced some documents for an annulment. Apparently he was like trying to propose to someone else, but yeah. Okay. So first, let me say this. Can you imagine in 10 years what his children, and probably not even 10 years, because I'm sure this is all over his town at this point. What they're thinking, like, why is my dad in the news and not in the news for being a hero or doing something, heroic to his job? Okay, so let me tell you what he's done. Okay, so he's been slammed as a poor representative of the city by his alleged girlfriend. You guys heard that, right? Girlfriend, right? So his girlfriend, her name is Cicely. I want her last name to be Steinmetz or something to that effect. She took to Facebook, okay? Let me tell you guys, when we say don't mess with a scorned woman, she is proof that you should not do that. Cicely Steinmetz basically took to Facebook to share everything that has been going on. So her and Jason have been having an affair. In her mind, they're not having an affair, they're having a relationship, but in all case purposes for the words, they are having an affair. So what happened is, not quite sure how she found out, and that's the part that I need to do a further deep dive to figure it out, but she has like everything. Like she went on there, she posted pictures of them. And ironically, what happened is the first time she posted the picture, people are like, oh, you guys are cute. Oh, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. Then she proceeds to talk about how, her feelings are hurt, how she's heartbroken, how she can't believe she trusted him. And so then that's when it gets interesting because people are like, what's going on? So she starts to peel back the layers of the story and how not only did she find out that he has a wife that he lives with and children, he has another girlfriend that apparently he has proposed to as well. So when I tell you the story is so hot and heated, I just couldn't stop. Yeah, like this was a Lifetime movie in the making. I mean, totally a Lifetime movie. I'm not sure how he thought he would continue to live this double or quadruple life because more girlfriends are coming out. I mean, when I tell you the story just keeps getting juicier and juicier and juicier and juicier. It's like reality TV. You guys know I love reality TV. So she basically, took to Facebook and she has laid it all out. And in one of the posts, she stated, I'm a little embarrassed and I feel ashamed that I even have to do this. And of course she is. Like, she feels like she was duped. And I don't know how many women will feel comfortable doing that. But the reality is, it's a lot of men out here who have been doing that. And, we talked about previously how COVID was really making some of it kind of come out because it's kind of like, well, you're technically not at work on the road. Why aren't you here with me? You can't tell me that you got to be somewhere else when I know that that's not what happened at your job. So a lot of men were getting exposed because of that. And I'm not sure if that's kind of how she started breaking it down for him. But he was like telling her that, he was applying for jobs other places. They were going to move in together. They were going to move. I mean, like they have been making plans. Come to find out, like I said, he has another wife, 4 kids, all of that, a whole nother life, realistically. And so as a result of the conversation and everything that she put out on Facebook, people were reaching out to like his job. Like, do you see this? Like, is this the representation that you want on your police force? What's so funny is he then turned around and sent videos to both women. And in the videos, he's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. If I had to do all over, like, and they're clowning them. Like, you guys, you don't understand, when literally I was like, is this real? So I had to actually go on the city's website to really see if this was real, because I saw the statement where the city's like, we are investigating this. And I'm like, what? Guys, when I tell you, it is like crazy. Oh my God. Apparently her post on Facebook went viral and has 25,000 comments and has been shared 31,000 times. Oh my God. Basically, she's like, I was living a lie. I was his girlfriend until yesterday. I'm done with him. I'm going to expose it. And that's what she did. I mean, and she put it all out there. Pictures, letters that he sent to her, text messages, all, you name it. She was putting it out there. Like, she was like, no hold bars. I don't care. She's basically said in one of the posts, we had just returned from vacation in Taos on Sunday. Meanwhile, his other girlfriend was told he was on a work assignment in Portland, Oregon. So the 2 women are now communicating with one another. What I want to know is, where's the wife? Because she hasn't said anything, but she's been named. And apparently some of them have friends in common. So a lot of the people that are friends with Cecilia have been sharing this post out. And some of the people that they're sharing with are friends with the wife. So this is not going to get good. I feel like it's going to get a lot uglier before it gets any better. Let's see. Let me see. Then, wait, here. This is where it gets even better. Somebody created a group on Facebook called Jason Collier Netflix series. So basically, they're already telling Netflix, get your writers together. We got a story for you. And they're not lying. I'm telling you, it's a story. Like, I literally had to force myself to get off of Facebook, because what was happening is she made the first 2 posts. Of course, people were sharing it out, but then people were commenting on it. And then people were adding like more tea and more things to it. And so then she was adding, like, she was copying the videos and adding like things, pictures of things that he, like, when I tell you, it was never ending. So much so I had to pull up to the side of the road, because, I kept getting the alert that somebody had posted something. And I was like, I got to see it. What is it? I was like, I got to dig myself out this hole. It is crazy and insane. I'm telling you, if you got some time on your hands, and I do mean some time, because it will take you on a loop, and you'll kind of be like, what? How did this happen? And people always say that, like, how did you as a girlfriend not know? Well, he's been saying that he travels for work. And think about it. He is a police chief. So what happens is, oftentimes he could say he's at work, and we all know that, he could work a double. He could be, working overnight. Like, we don't know, the shifts changes, his wife could be at work, and while his wife is at work, maybe he hanging out with the girlfriend, and then he pretends he has to go to work. Like, it's so much. What I want to know is, when did this man sleep? Because how do you have 2 whole girlfriends and a wife? Tell me, how are you protecting the city? I hope y'all crime level is 0. If not, yeah. And then people were commenting how the videos he's doing, he's sitting in a police car. So clearly he's not protecting the city. He's sending videos to his girlfriends. Come on, guys. Listen, Google Jason Collier. I'm telling you, just be prepared. You will go in I'm telling you, you will go in a hole. I learned that he's also an ordained minister. Guys, that don't do that. Jesus is not happy, Jason. Jesus is not happy. Jesus did not have many wives. It is not okay. You got to do, more than this. And of course, he has not come out publicly with a comment yet, but I'm sure it's coming, because there's a lot of people to answer to. So I want you guys to check it out. Let me know if I get some more tea. I'll drop it for you next week. Okay. All right. So, everybody has been home, figuring out what to do. And a lot of people were at a place, with COVID and with quarantining, where they were looking for new things to do in their lives. So a lot of, threads and referral credits and all that stuff went around with Robinhood. If you're not familiar with Robinhood, basically it is a site where people go on and they buy and trade stocks and all of that. And it was fun. It's a really good way to teach your children about stocks and all that in the stock market. And a lot of people started doing it because, like, if I had an account and I referred you, you would get some money to, start your little thing. And it didn't require you to have thousands of dollars accessible. And a lot of people have been buying, like, Peloton stock, of course, went sky high because everybody was getting a Peloton except for me, of course. The wait for the Peloton is ridiculous. So many people were logging on to Robinhood, signing up for accounts. And even now, like, if you go on Facebook, if someone has a Robinhood account that they've checked and they're like, hey, did you see such a stock is doing this? People should buy. That's always a thing. Buy now, buy now. Well, it seems that people are talking about Robinhood because they restricted people from buying and trading more of GameStop and AMC stock. And there's another one. I got to get the name of it and I'll let you guys know. And so if you're not familiar with kind of what happened, so let's go back. You guys know for the most part that GameStop has been in trouble. Realistically, my understanding is they have filed bankruptcy and they're probably going to be going out of business. So what happens in that case is the stock went up, for trading, right? And so right now what happens is Robinhood let me go back. So Robinhood allowed people to buy the stock, right? Which is what happens. You go in there, you buy the stock, you do what you need to do. So they allow people to buy the stock and you bought it at a low rate. So the whole idea with the stock market is you buy low, sell high, right? And so you bought people, so many people were buying it, they were buying it low, and it got very popular. So of course it was spread everywhere. People everywhere were like, oh, I need to get this. I'm getting this. And so as a result of that, I wrote all this down here. All right. Okay. So what happens is, as a result of people sharing it, of course, you're seeing more people buying it. It's kind of tricking the system, for lack of a better word, I guess. And it's causing the stock to rise. What happens is now that it got, because it got that good bump, that means it adds to short selling. And basically what short selling is, back to the buy low, sell high, and you make a profit. The way that it is right now is that you can sell your stock. However, you can't buy more, which is what people are angry about. So people are angry about that. And so let me, I wrote all this down because I wanted to make sure that I gave you the right information. So what happens is a lot of times, like hedge funds and things of that nature, they put these failing stocks into the market, and people buy or whatever in anticipation that it will still continue to go down and people will basically lose money, which is why, the stock market is at, basically is a gamble. You just don't know. So the whole idea of short selling is basically you borrow shares at a higher price and you sell it with the assumption that you can buy the shares again later at a cheaper price. So for instance, a lot of people were buying Peloton and some of them did do it as a short sale, right? And so once they saw that it was, it was leveling out. Some people sold the stock thinking, okay, I'll sell this on a short sale and buy some other stocks because at some point I'll be able to just buy it again at the same price because it leveled out. Well, what happened with AMC and GameStop is that this is what people were doing. However, when it got pushed higher into the market, now the prices went high. So those people who sold at a short sale are going to lose money. So as a result of that, Robinhood stopped it so people would not be complaining and not going on their site, right? So let me see what else happened. So the short sellers have basically lost the money and they have to give back this money to the people. So Robinhood basically said, I'm not letting you guys do anything. You can sell your stock, which really in this case is not a good idea. I guess if you've been tracking it, then, make sure you check it out and be sure. But if not, hold on and see what happens. That's what I say. I say at least hold on and see what happens until maybe the end of the week after all this levels out, because there's so much chatter going on about it. But if you have not gotten on Robinhood, get on there, learn about stocks and balance. Lordy, I can't even talk to you guys. Learn more about stocks and why you should participate in it. Let's see. There was something else that I wanted to tell you about it. Oh, here are the other ones. Nokia and Bed Bath and Beyond was another one of the stocks that people were doing this with. Oh, and so apparently Robinhood, look at this. This just came on. This literally, I just got this alert, and it's saying that Robinhood has explained part of the reason why they did this. Saying, in light of recent volatility, we are restricting transactions for certain securities to position closing, only including AMC, Bed Bath and Beyond. Oh, looks like Express. I didn't realize Express was on here too. GameStop, and looks like Nokia. Yeah, so if you check, there's quite a few other investing services that are also restricting this service because they're losing money. They're losing money, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens because you figure like with GameStop, initially the price was between $4 and $20. I actually thought it was $4 and $30, but maybe not. And then it began skyrocketing. Okay, so if you bought it when it was low, which is what most people were doing, you go in there, you're like, I can lose $10, $20, not a big deal. So the stock as of yesterday was worth $300 and almost $50. Okay, so if you bought it at $4 and now it's worth $350, of course, what are you going to do? You are going to sell. So it says today, today I checked it a little while ago before I got on here, and it had spiked to $467, but then it went down to $126 as people were unable to purchase more shares. So it says as of right now, it looks like the stock is at $207, which still isn't bad if you made $4 off of it. I mean, if you paid $4 and now you're going to sell it at 207, it's not bad. But they are suggesting that maybe people wait and see what happens come Friday. I do feel like a lot of people are going to be selling. Unfortunately, it's crazy that now you can't buy because people are going to be selling. But who knows? Who knows, guys? Stay in the loop on that because I feel like if that's your thing, it's going to be some great information coming out more about that. Okay, so let's talk about Salt and Pepper. How many of you guys watched this? I think it's called a biopic. I don't know what it's called. I called it garbage. I so wanted to love it. I did, guys. Like, Salt and Pepper are one of my girls. Like, I grew up in that era. I was literally anticipating being nostalgic, watching it, dancing and singing around in my living room, getting my kids wrapped up into it. None of that happened. I thought certainly they would use like video clippings from old videos or old shows that they did, actual live footage of them performing, not, the people that were acting as them. And I don't want to say it's about the actors and the actresses, people that were performing in the show, because it was not about them. However, their voices aren't the same, and you don't expect their voices to be the same when singing, which is why I figured they would have brought in actual like live coverage, which just didn't make sense to me. But anywho, I felt like the people who were playing the roles, no disrespect to them at all, I just feel like the story was so, I mean, of course, we already know it was one-sided. They did not include Spinderella in it, which still baffles so many people to this day because she is a huge part of the organization. Like, we all knew who she was. She was the woman DJ everyone loved, to talk about. And even though it's like called Salt and Pepper, because you really couldn't add, what would she have been called? Like Old Spice or Salt Rub, or what would you call her? But, it made sense to just be called Salt and Pepper. But then later on, you start seeing Salt and Pepper and Spinderella. She started getting some recognition. So the fact that they didn't include her, it's a little one-sided to me. But anywho, the story was trash. It was trash. There's so much that they left out, and the stuff that they included and kind of harped on was kind of like things that we knew, but there was no resolution. There was no like, this is how it started, this is how it ended, this is what I did in the middle. It was kind of like, yeah, look, this is what happened, and you kept it moving. And you have to wonder, like, were any of the alleged people included? Did they say, you better not mention me in this, you better not include my name in this? So I don't know if that's kind of what it was. So the instance, one I can give you is a situation with Tretch and Pepper. Like, everybody knew they were together. Everybody knew there was a volatile relationship. And throughout the show, you saw that it was volatile. It gave the impression that, he was abusive to her, but there was no real like, okay, well, what happened? Like, yeah, they met, and she was like, the social girl, the girl always out doing this, doing that, where Salt wanted to be the church girl. And so, like, you saw bits and pieces of what possibly could have happened, but there was no real like, oh, here's the storyline and here's what happened. And I don't know if maybe the problem is they did it over a day and it really should have been done in more than a day. I don't know, but if you guys watched it, let me know your thoughts. And so that has me apprehensive about whether or not I even want to watch Wendy Williams. I feel like, there's so much that can be done and said and put forth. But if I'm going to see the same thing that I saw sitting for 2 hours, almost 3 hours, I guess it was, watching Salt-N-Pepa, I'm just not interested. So that's where I am. Let me know if you guys saw and what your thoughts are. I felt like it was a waste of airtime. And I was really surprised, to find out the director was Mario Van Peebles, because I feel like, he's done some really great things. And he just missed the mark on this. Like, there was no lesson, nothing. Like, I didn't get to dance. Nothing. Like, I felt like when it was over that I needed to go and turn on my own ones and listen to it that way. Let's see. Oh, in the news, we saw that the Affordable Care Act is coming back. Apparently, President Joe Biden is going to be signing it into effect today. I want to say he's probably doing it right now. And effective February 15th, you will be able to apply for medical care again. The fact that medical care is just not really available in our country just baffles me constantly all the time. So right now I'm in a situation, you guys all know I'm a breast cancer survivor. So I have all these kind of ailments. I tell people, just because you're not getting a chemo infusion or radiation treatment or taking a pill does not mean that cancer ends. Like, I feel like it's always there. It's always present in your life. And there's always something as a result of it. So I went to my new primary care doctor and we talked about some issues and she wanted me to get an MRI. She's like, let's just get one just to be safe and make sure that everything is on the up and up. I've been having some back problems. So the insurance company is like, no, we're not going to pay for that. So she called me and she's like, well, they want you to go to PT. She's like, I know, it's so stupid. She was like, based on your history, there's no reason for them not to have approved it. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's all about money. So we're going to waste more time. I'm going to go to PT and then we're going to be right back to where we started and I'm still going to need this MRI. Craziness, insane is what it is. And so the whole idea that people can't just get medical care just baffles me. The fact that people can't afford it it's insane. We've got to get a better system. Like, if the doctor is saying that someone needs this, it's not like I went in there and was like, this is what I need. It was what she recommended. What is the problem? I have no idea. Let's see. I'm going to remind you that today is Blueberry Pancake Day. So if you like blueberry pancakes, have one in honor of today. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about is silencing Black women. This is going to be a topic that I'm going to do one evening. I have some people that are going to come on with me. We're really going to just talk about, how you say you want to support Black women and how you can really support Black women. But I felt that it was important that I bring this up today and really talk about this. So I was on the call. It's on a Zoom meeting, which is all they are, yesterday. And we were talking about wellness trends, and I will give you guys those 9 trends to really look out for coming into 2021. Of course, we know that if we haven't learned anything in this pandemic, we know that now people are longing to travel, but they are realizing the importance of wellness related to it. So a lot of wellness travel is what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of hotels and brands, and that's going to be their focus. Not just come here and stay and check out the city and do all that. It's really going to be on the focus on your wellness. So I think that's a great thing, and I love the shift that is happening. But throughout the presentation, one of the trends was really about just looking at the diversity inclusion element and an equity element into wellness. Whereas, for years, it has been a white woman thing. You rarely saw Black women talking about wellness. And I feel like, now, of course, with the internet and all of that, we're seeing a lot more women coming out and they're really talking about, there are lots of Black yogis, which I absolutely love, a lot of more wellness, natural, Black persons, and this is their focus. So there was a woman who spoke on the panel, and she talked about it, how we need to continue with this shift and why this shift is important and what it means. And, how now we already know in how we're dealing with this civil unrest, what we need to do to move this forward to make sure that it is no longer just about white women. It is an inclusive and equity thing that we're looking at. So she gave an amazing presentation. I'm going to share it. I'm just waiting for them to send me the actual clippings and all of that. And I am going to share it out. So check out lifeofpumps.com when you get a moment. But in this conversation, I promise you, every girl that was on this call, that's a Black girl that was on this meeting, that was a Black girl, or an ally, not just a Black woman, or an ally, was like, yes, girl, yes, yes, give it, give it, give it, give it. I mean, because she was dropping gems, and she was saying, as a matter of fact, she didn't care if your feelings was hurt. She was doing what she needed to do. So people were asking questions, and they were valid questions. And, and I think that is where the whole silence in the Black woman and white women trying to be the savior comes in at, is that people were asking her questions. There was nothing wrong with the questions. And I think that, as a society, we have to be okay with people asking questions, and know that as a Black woman, if someone asks me a question, I'm offended, I'm going to let them know that I'm offended, and I'm going to still say what I need to say. And I think that definitely it was one of the messages that was missed. But anywho, she was going on and she was answering the questions. She was saying what she needed to say. I mean, she was doing it. Doing it. I'm telling you, I was like, yes, yes, here, cheering from her. So in the midst of her talking, in the chat, everyone is asking questions and saying stuff in the chat. One of the people from the group decided it was important to share her education and her, why she was qualified. And, part of the reason why they put her on the panel. And I mean, make no mistake, like, if you weren't sure and you didn't know after you read that, you knew this woman knew what she was talking about, even if you just wanted to base on her education. Because, she went to like Harvard, Yale, she was public health, research, all of this. But what I said is, I'm not sure why you felt the need to say all that. You didn't say that about any of the other panelists, and no one asked that of any of the other panelists. And I feel like we believe what she said because we trust your organization, what you're doing, that we don't need to check people's qualifications, their degrees, the letters behind their name. But you felt the need to put this out on her. Why is that? And, I felt like she felt a little, called to the floor. Did I care? Nope. She owned her mistake, and another Black woman, commented as well. She owned her mistake and realized it was not okay. So ironically, the lady actually messaged me the next day to thank me for, really reaching out and saying what I said. And we kind of had a dialogue about it. The one who made the comment about, the one who put out her qualifications. So she made this comment and, said what she said. And then she, reached out to me and she wanted to apologize. I said, what, I appreciate you apologizing. And she did apologize publicly before the call ended. And she just really wanted to talk about my feelings behind it. And I explained to her, I said, well, I think you were of good intent. And I said, and my comment was not to offend you. So I don't want you to think that. I feel like you were of good intent. Oops, am I frozen? Okay, guys, I think I was frozen, but I'm back now. So what I said to her, while I think your comment was of great intent, and I don't think you meant to be malicious, I just need you to understand what your comment looked like. And so she understood when I broke it down to her. And I said, oftentimes, I get it, dealing in this community and all of this, you realize that, oftentimes Black women, persons of color, we just haven't had a place here, but now we do. And so you felt the need to validate her. She did not need you to validate her. She could validate herself. And that's where one of the ways as allies we get messed up. She understood, she recognized it, and she took it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Today, I'm reading an article by an alum from my daughter's school. And she just talks about, in this article, kind of what it felt like. My daughter goes to, a pretty cool school. It's expensive. And there are a lot of people at the school who have lots of money. And she talked about her feelings as a Black woman and or a Black girl at the time, and how she really didn't fit in. She felt excluded. She didn't have a lot of money. And there were girls that kind of didn't make her feel a part of it. And this is like, I don't even know how many years ago. And, it's interesting that, she wrote this article, it's kind of a precursor to a book that she has coming out. And then there's also an Instagram page that's going around in my area about these private schools and how they treat people of color. So, everything she said in there was valid. I mean, well, not that I needed to validate it. Everything she said in it was her feelings. No one needed to validate it. No one needed to say anything, but like, wow, okay. This is a great read. I love this article. It's very eye-opening that, now she feels comfortable in really putting it out there. We're not sure if she knows about, all of the things that was happening because she no longer lives in the US, but it was a really great article. And realistically, only a small part of the article touched on her feeling from school. So much of it talked about her closet and how she had things in her closet. And from a conversation with her daughter, she had things in her closet that really just didn't reflect who she was, but she had them because she felt like she had to have them. So this goes back to really, if you think about the whole pearls thing, there were a few people who were saying to me, I don't own a pair of pearls. And I laughed and I said, you know what? That's interesting. And you should be okay not owning a pair of pearls. You know, a lot of women felt like they all have to have pearls. I have pearls because of my sorority. I had them from some event that I went to when I was younger. But, you know, it does not have to be a part of rites of passage. It doesn't. It's okay that you don't have them. But there are a lot of women who, in that midst of the chucks and pearls thing, were feeling like, wow, why don't I have pearls? I'm excluded. I don't know what this is about. And so I think that's what she was trying to talk about, you know, using her closet and her experience as a metaphor. She had these dresses in there that had like flowers and all these kind of prints. And that's not her. She likes plain, maybe colorful, but she don't like all those prints, you know. And so her daughter was asking her. And so that is what the article was about, you know, just talking about not owning who you are and being okay, right? So we're talking about the article in this group. And this white woman comes on and she says, well, I have something that she should know. She's not the only one who felt that way. So I waited because I wanted to see if anyone else was going to comment. And luckily, a few women did. These women were white. And they said, I'm not sure why you felt the need to interject that, because your experience will never be the same experience as a Black woman. You could fit in. You could figure out a way to fit in. Even if you faked it, she could not fake it. So those are the type of allies that we want. We want allies who are going to speak up when it's the right thing to do and shut down people that are your peers. The woman who made the original comment was not happy, but it is what it is. So I just want you guys to think about that when you get into situations where, you know, you think you are supporting a Black woman. Think before you speak. And if you need to, you can even reach out to another Black woman and say, hey, listen, here's a situation. What do you think? And I often think that's a great thing because, like I said, I didn't feel like the woman had malicious intent, but now this woman with the article, as people are correcting her, she's getting offended. She's like, well, I don't understand why people are attacking me. And so what I said to her is take a step back, because now you've made it about you. It wasn't about you. It was about the woman, how she felt in the article. You've made this about you. It is not about you. Write your own article, start your own post. And so that's what I want you all to take from that, look at it, all of that kind of good stuff. Like I said, more information will be coming to you guys about the wellness trends, because I think they're really great for this year coming up. And I want to talk to you guys about some movies. So if you have not seen One Night in Miami, which was directed by Regina Bell King, yeah, that sounds right. Check it out. It was great. It was a great movie to really just get you in the mindset, especially with Black History coming up, and everybody wants to talk about Martin Luther King and, you know, all the key players that most people know. It touches on that. It touches on the conversation that they had on that One Night in Miami. Amazing. I'm telling you. And it just gets you to thinking about kind of, you know, where we are today versus where they were back then. And if we've even come far enough at this point. The other thing I want you to watch is American Skin. I do need to tell you that I was extremely emotional watching it. One, because it starts off with a father and a son in a car getting pulled over by the police. This happened to my husband, God, I don't even know how many weeks ago. And when I got the call that they got pulled over, my heart stopped because, you know, we all know from the summer and just in all last year, what could have gone wrong. And so as I watched that movie unfold, I realized that I could be living a total different story. So watch it. I don't care what color you are. Watch it so you can get a perspective. And that's what I liked about it. It came from every perspective. You know, in the beginning, yes, it is all about, you know, this was wrong, this happened. But toward the end, when you saw the community and how they worked and how they talked about what was going on, the end was totally fucked up. But watch it, guys, watch it. I do have a write-up that's going to be coming about that, but I want to know what your thoughts are on it. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like, I was texting all my family members and my friends, definitely watch American Skin, but I don't know is why it's not being publicized. Well, I do know why it's not really being publicized. It's Spike Lee, and, you know, people just think he's so far left. It doesn't matter where he is in this. American Skin, I mean, literally, it talks about, and one thing that really stuck home for me is when his son, you know, he talks about things that he's learned at his school. Now his son goes to a prestigious private school, which means, of course, that there are not a lot of minorities there. And so some of the statistics and numbers that he has for like police brutality and your rights don't really let me say this, should go for him, but it's really not for him. It's really for his white friends. And so as he's saying it to his dad. He's like, well, Dad, I don't understand. It's written right here that I have the right to do X, Y, Z. And his dad is like, I know it's written there, but those laws weren't written for us. So it's that kind of conversation, and especially like if you're white and your child plays or hangs out with persons of color, and that mom is apprehensive about her child kind of just being alone with your kid and in that group scenario. This is why, because your child can do certain things that our children can't. And oftentimes, because we have our kids in these environments that we think are better for them, they don't understand that. And sometimes they find out the hard way. You guys have got to watch. I'm telling you, like, I was so emotional. I watched it like 3 times, and each time I came out with a different feeling on it. So please watch it. It's American Skin. It's on Amazon. Check it out and let me know what your thoughts are. And before you guys ask, I am still wearing a red lip, but today I am wearing Bobbi Brown's Froze. I actually got this on sale at Nordstrom. Apparently it's one of the colors that is being discontinued, I think. I absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys think. I may have to see if I can get another one before they're all gone. But that is all I had for you guys for Tea Talk. Thank you for coming in, joining and commenting and just kind of being an ear with me today. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for a virtual happy hour on Instagram, Tamika Talks. 30 Mommy and I are still bringing up our concoctions and wine hacks. And of course, we will talk about current events and what's happening going into the weekend. See you guys then. Have a great week. Bye.